Preparing kids for financial independence, teens, young adults, it's a difficult thing to do unless you can prepare them ahead of time with the right advice. So that's where we've got Dave Sant from Cyprus Credit Union to tell us more about 4 ways we can prepare kids for financial independence. Dave, what's your advice?
Yeah, the first thing I think we want to do when we're helping our kids towards financial independence is teach them and let them to make mistakes. Making small mistakes today can really help you to learn and avoid big mistakes down the road. So give them some budget to work with, help them set goals, then let them build towards that smaller goal. Make sure it's something that if, they make a mistake, it's not going to cause huge damage or it's not going to be too disheartening for them. Make sure that when they make the mistake, you then sit down and you teach them, what did we learn? How could we avoid this in the future? And then let them try again, see if they learn from that mistake.
And you say don't shield them from costs either. I mean, as an adult growing up, I know that that was something my parents didn't do at all. If it cost something, they made sure I knew about it.
Yeah, don't shield them from the cost. Get them involved in the process. If they want to buy something, sit down and say, okay, let's figure out exactly how much this costs. What would we need to save to get there? You can teach them, some good rules to be able to buy things. One of the good things you can start saying is don't say, if they say, can we buy this? Get rid of we can't afford it. Instead, teach them this is what we would need to do to afford it. So if they want something that's going to take months, say, all right, if we were to do that, let's look at our budget. I'll bring you in. We'd have to cut back food this much. We'd have to cut back here. We'd have to save here. We maybe wouldn't be able to go on this vacation. We do this instead. Is that something, are these things we'd be willing to sacrifice to be able to buy that? Because that's what it is, right? A budget isn't restrictive. A budget is making sure that you have the money going to the right place to help you achieve your goals. And I think if you involve them in that process, that's a great way for them to see that, yes, you can afford things, but money is limited, right? You have to make sure you have it going to the right places, and you have to be sure that you're willing to sacrifice things in order to afford things that might be out of your ability to.
And a quick point to touch on is we need to make them work for what they want. They won't just get it.
Yeah, I think that's something you can teach them is, what's the hours that something costs. So maybe they want something, and it could be tempting just to go and say, okay, let's go buy it. But you could take some, say, okay, well, if you needed that, let's say that I paid you X amount of dollars per hour. So you would need to do 10 hours of work in order to get that, and then negotiate with them, right? Say, okay, I will give you work to do for these 10 hours. I'll pay you that amount, and then you can buy it. And that I think will help them to see, like, is it really worth it? Is it worth putting in the work to be able to get this? And maybe you only give them like half of what it costs and you cover the other half, but kind of negotiate a deal to teach them that you need to work for your money. But once you work for your money, there's a reward at the end, right? You can then use that money to get something you really want.
And so definitely things that they need to just kind of hone into, stick to, and then parents can remind them so they do it right. So definitely some good advice there, Dave. So if people want more information, where can they go?
Come to cyprusu.com. We've got tons of great tools on our blog that can give you different things you can do to help your kids build that financial independence.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dave.
Hey, thank you.